Hey guys, this is Ryan. In this video, we're going to go over how to write killer ad copy that gets more clicks, generates more leads for less cost. You may be asking, what is ad copywriting? And it's simply written words and advertisements. So it's the art of persuading through the written word. Now, the reason why you want to focus on AdWords copywriting is because it's perhaps one of the best ways to differentiate your ads from your competitors. Now, if you go to a results page like this on a search for plastic surgeon New Hampshire, then what you're going to see is your competitors' ads. And if you can write ads that both pop out and appeal to your customers' emotional and logical needs, then what Google's going to see is that all your ads are getting the clicks, and they're going to give your ads the benefit of the doubt. You're going to pay less for cost per click, and you're going to get the higher positions much easier. What you're seeing at the top here are expanded text ads, or also just known as text ads. There's other formats of ads, as you can see here, such as responsive search ads and call-only ads. But for this video, we're just going to focus on the text ads. Now, the principles that we're going to go over are best practices of copywriting, and they're going to apply to whether you're doing this for Google AdWords or Facebook or some sort of display network advertising. So these are going to travel across every single domain and format that you do, but for now, we're just going to focus on text ads. And while looking at the format of a text ad using this preview tool in Google AdWords, you're going to see that there's a final URL where you can send traffic to. There's now 3 headlines. As of 2008, they added in the 3rd headline here. There's a path to add in a few additional keywords on the end of your URL, and a description and another description. And this description too is also brand new. So before even beginning with writing ad copy, what we want to do is separate our ad groups in a way that allows us to write specific ad copy for the psychographics or the psychology of the people searching. And let me put that in a different way. You want to group keywords by categories so that you can write relevant ads to what that person needs. So as you can see here, if someone sees an ad that is indicating breast lifts without implants within that ad copy, they're much more likely to click through and get what they want than if they see an ad that's just generic breast lifts. Further, if someone is looking for breast lift surgery and your ad just has generic information such as plastic surgery in it, and it doesn't even specify breast lifts is one of the procedures that you offer, then they are much less likely to click on your ad. So for the most part, what you want to do is to split up your ad groups like this into categories so that you can write relevant ads to each. Okay, so let's jump over to a Google Sheet to do some market research, and right off the bat, what we're going to do is brainstorm. So this is for the plastic surgery ad group. We're just going to use that as an example. And right off the bat, what we can tell about this ad group is that the people searching, we're putting ads in front of people searching for generic terms, so just plastic surgery. So we're not sure what procedure they're looking for, whether it's breast, face, hands, legs, whatever. And so there's not much information that they're giving us there other than the fact that they need a surgeon. These are generally high intent though, so they convert much better in most cases. But for now, let's just brainstorm the different categories of people that need this service. So some people are going to be getting plastic surgery simply because they want to look more beautiful. So let's just do that. Beautiful. But beyond beauty, some people are doing it for status and ego. Now, this applies pretty much to any industry that you're in. There are going to be subcategories of people that need it for a utility reason and some that need it because it's just a want. So these people might be getting plastic surgery just as a want. They just want to look a little bit more beautiful. They want youth. So beyond ego, or next to it, I'm going to write better than my friends. So part of it is they want it to look natural too. Like they like the excitement of their friends not knowing. They like when their friends say, "Oh, I didn't even notice." And I'm going to say they couldn't even notice. You want to get behind the emotions of why people are doing these things. So that's like one category of person. Then the other category of person who's getting plastic surgery would be someone who's getting it for an actual like utility reason. So maybe they have a deformity on their body that they want to get rid of, and maybe it's just for looks, right? So beauty once again, but really it's for self-esteem. And their beliefs are that they are beautiful inside and outside. So they want the beauty outside reflects the inside. So these are all emotional reasons, right? So these are generally the most powerful ones, but there's also logical reasons of why people are going to click on your ad, hire your client or your business as opposed to the competitors. And one of those would simply be pricing. And underpricing, there would be financing. Oh man. Financing. Okay. And payment plans. As well as insurance. So if you have better pricing, or you have better payment plans and financing options, and accept more insurance, then people might go with you for that reason alone. Some people are just logical thinkers, and they're going to pick someone based on that. So along with status, there's some people who just want the premium. They want the best. They want premium. There's some people who worry a lot, so these are the self-esteem people. They might fall under this as well. So this would be safety. Even though it's generally safe, most plastic surgery procedures aren't like high fatality behind them, but they want safety. Some of these people are going to be nervous, anxious. So because of this reason, they care about who the doctor is. It's an intimate service. So this isn't like someone's hiring a roofer or a landscaper where they don't care too much who the person is. They do care because they are working on their house, but they just want a job and they want it done. This is someone's going to be working on your body, most likely your naked body, so it's intimate. So they care about the doctor, who the doctor is. They care about the staff and how responsive they are. So these are different psychographic categories here. Let's see what else we can pull. So we got premium, safety, intimate. A way that you can help brainstorm or get better ideas is if you type in the root keyword and then we just look at auto suggestions. So we can see right away that people are searching for geo modifiers. So Boston, New Hampshire, Portsmouth, near me. So they care about location. That's one thing. Let's jump back over here. Location. So some people will choose a place simply because it's closer. So the people who choose places because it's closer and more convenient. So I'll write that. Convenient. Because really it's not so much about the location. They don't necessarily care where the location is. It could be 15 miles away if it's easier and faster to get there, or more convenient, meaning maybe it's close to something that they're already going to. So these are all like really nuanced points to keep in mind. I know I'm covering a lot of foundational stuff here, but this is the stuff that is going to really make you an exceptional copywriter and stick out from the herd. So just stick with me here as I ramble through this. So location, cost, as we already mentioned. Right here, before and after. So they care about proof of concept. So they want to see results, images, photos, gallery. So they want to see that information so they can imagine themselves in the position that they want to be in, which is more beautiful. Okay, so now that we covered pretty much all the brainstorming that I can think of right now, what you can do is, of course, just look at the auto suggestion features here, but then also look through your clients, your website, or your competitors' websites, either in the ads or the organic results. And I've clicked over to this one right here because this is an exceptional example. They definitely had this designed by a company. unless someone on their team is just really good at marketing online. But this is a perfect example. If you can find a website that is just really well done, that's really important, because you can look at their site to figure out what people are interested in. And we've already covered some of this, like photo gallery, so they're interested in that. About us, so meet our staff, meet the doctor. They got financing, specials, so that's something that we forgot. Let's scroll down here. Specials, discounts, deals. So you can see for sure that there's differences between the types of people that you're gonna attract with different types of ads. So you can attract a person who's interested in specials, discounts, and deals, which they're probably also more logical. So they like all this other logical stuff. They'll care about financing and insurance and all that. Or you could attract someone who's a little bit more irrational, and what they care more about is they care about status and they care about premium. So choose which ones you want. My guess is premium is probably going to be the best clients. But at the same time, there are some backlashes to getting irrational clients. So keep that in mind when you're writing ads. So let's look through the site a little bit more here. Also, before writing any ads, it helps to understand the industry that you're in and the terminology that's being used. So understanding how these things differentiate is really important, because this is going to help you to split up ad groups into separate components that you can write ads specific to each that makes sense. So the more you know, the better off you're going to be. So people care if it's surgical or non-surgical. So that could be something that you could write down here as well. So that's like technology. Some people like the new, so they're new, innovative. They care about advanced technology. They care about the procedures, the process. So these are still, once again, more logical people here. Scroll down a little bit. Yeah, this is really well done. So they care about prestige, right? So this kind of goes along with status. Prestige. Oh yeah, no, I don't know. However that's spelled. Prestige certifications. This is basically trust and experience. Experience, trust. Okay, and reading down here, you can see, give you the most beautiful natural looking. So right, they care about results and natural looking. So natural looking. And I think we covered pretty much everything here. But as long as you get all those categories down, that's important. Okay, so I just quickly categorized everything here into general groups. So emotional general, this is what most people care about, just beauty, youth, natural looking, results, images, photos, before and after. Emotional utility, so these are people that are getting plastic surgery for a deformation, most likely. Whereas someone who's getting it for status would fall under this group. They care about most likely premium, they want the best, they want prestige, awards, status, ego. Logical would be a mix. These people would like some logic as well, of course. So pricing, special discounts, convenience, new technology, and certifications. I made prestige and awards different than experience and certifications, because this is more just the logic behind it, where this is like, oh, they were featured on something. So let's just go over best practices of writing a text ad first. Let's jump over to that section. And with this, I've written this out already for you, but this is the format that I generally write ads with. And the first headline is going to be keyword heavy and quite logical. It's just going to address the exact thing that someone's looking for. And when you do it this way, you call out immediately what they're looking for, and they know they're in the right place, and they're more likely to click your ad. If you get too fancy with it, then people just bypass your ad because they're like, oh, it had nothing to do with what I'm looking for. So I'll generally have keywords in that. And then the second one appeals to emotion. This is more of a persuasive headline, something that pops out from your competition that convinces them to click your ad instead. And then the headline 3, I'll end it with a call to action. So something that says like call to schedule an appointment today, something like that. Now the headline 3 most of the time is not going to show on the desktop view, as you can see in the preview tool right here, unless these are very short. So most of the time it's only going to be on the mobile view. So sometimes I'll just say call. I'll have a call to action. Now in the description 1 and 2, how I like to place these or handle these is with keywords, emotion, and logic. It's really all components of it. And then I use a lot of symbols and capitalization and weird things to make it pop out, just because I can't tell you whether people are actually reading the descriptions, but if you can help to take up more space on that search real estate, and you can make your ads pop out more using a description, then that's good. But it's also a location to put in more keywords to increase your relevancy of your ads, and also appeal to some emotion. If they do end up reading it, then it will convince them more. Now let me just write out an example ad, and we're going to go through step by step what each word means and why I chose to write it this way. Okay, so this is an example Google ad copy for plastic surgeon in Miami. So let's just take this step by step. In the first headline, I place a symbol. Now this, once again, this is not set in stone. These can be changed, but I like to test placing a symbol in the headline 1, such as number 1. Not only does this indicate premium or status or the best and appeals to those types of people, but it also helps the ad to pull out from the competitors a little bit and get noticed. And then right away we just hit them with the keyword that they typed in, plastic surgery, and then it has some geolocation. So this is appealing to the logic. So Miami, Florida. So they know that they're looking for a plastic surgery right in their area. Headline 2 appeals to emotion and ego a little bit, because release your natural beauty. It's kind of a little tongue-in-cheek actually, because the process of plastic surgery is not natural, but basically what they're trying to get to is they're trying to get their outer self to be what they see themselves to be. They see themselves to be beautiful inside, so they want to be beautiful outside as well. So this is an emotional statement, which could convince a certain category of people. And this is more on the lines of, if we go back here, the emotional utility side of things. But it also hits a little bit on status as well and ego. So we come back here, and then I just end it with a call to action, schedule a free consultation. So the offer that you have also is going to influence how well your ads perform. So if you or your client has a really good offer or a good foot in the door instead of just a free consultation, that's perfect. This is where knowing the process comes in handy, because if you know the process of that a person goes through plastic surgery, you can say something like a free body design or something like that. And a free body design is going to stick out a lot more than anything else, even if a free consultation and a body design are the exact same thing. But if you can word it in a different way that helps you to stand out from competition, that's huge. Then we got the display path down here. The only, for some reason that's not showing. Right, so that's just what's shown on the end there. And I pretty much just treat it like SEO. So on your main website, you would say, here's my main website right here. And since it doesn't show any sort of indication that it's plastic surgery, you just say, you're going to the plastic surgery section. Even though you're descending to the home page in this scenario, you just let people know right away that they're going to the plastic surgery section of your website, which doesn't indicate it in the site name. Also just adds in a few more keywords, the keyword that they're searching for, so it increases your relevancy. Now going down here, I'll talk about each step of this. So friendly, we're appealing to trust, the intimate relationship that they're having with that doctor. 5-star rated, so this is also trust, like other people like us. They voted online that we are 5-star. Plastic surgeon, this is a small variation of the keyword. So instead of surgery, we got surgeon. Increases relevancy. Serving Miami, Florida, just repeating that once again, that's geo-relevancy. Instead of saying serving Miami, Florida, you could say located near a major geographic thing that most people would know in that area. You could say located near the high school, something like that. Obviously, that might not work in this case in Miami, which is a big place. But if you're in a small town, you can say located right next to the school or located right next to town hall. Certified, once again, experience. Certified trusts with 20 years experience. Once again, experience. Right here, you could choose to just do with, but I like to add that extra symbol right there. And as you can see, it kind of like makes it pop out a little bit more. Using these numbers is a good idea. 20 years, slash mark, dash mark, comma, 5, dash mark, all capitalized Florida. Notice also too how everything is camel case, so that means every first letter of the word is capitalized. Not everyone, of course. A, in, all those stop words don't need it, but every other word, it helps it pop out a lot better. Now, description line 2 is just more of the same thing right here. Logic, minimally invasive procedures, so that's basically natural looking. Accepts most insurance and payment plans, so this is pricing logic. And then I like to end the description too with a contact us. So basically, when someone's on mobile, what they see is they see a call to action, info, call to action. So it tells them what to do next. This is what it's going to look like on desktop. And the reason why I like designing these ads and writing these ads within the platform of Google AdWords is because you get to see the exact character limit here. So the character limit for text ads is 30 for each of your headlines, and then description is 90 right here. So when you're doing that in a Google Sheet or something, it's hard to see that unless you make a formula, so it's better to do it here. Plus you get a sense of you're seeing it from the end user's point of view, and you can see what actually looks good and pops out. Okay, so far we've only written one ad for a single ad group, plastic surgeon. So you're going to need to do this for every other ad group. But for the most part, you've already figured out the major triggers that are going to apply to every ad group there is. So writing the other ones is going to be a lot easier. Plus you can copy and paste most of this, and I'll talk about that right now. Because first off, we want to do a split test in this ad group. Now, the amount of ads that you run for a single ad group really just depends on how much volume you're going to get. The less ads or the less tests you perform, the quicker you're going to be able to improve the click-through rate. The quicker you'll be able to make judgments on which ad performed the best. The more ads you have, the more data you're going to need to make that judgment. So keep that in mind. Depending on you or your client's goals of the campaign, you may want to do 2, you may want to do 3, 4, or even 5. So in this scenario with a split test, what you want to do is only change one variable. And for the most part, I only changed headline 1 or headline 2 as the main variables that we're changing, whereas I'll keep the constants as H3, description 1 and 2. So for the most part, these are just going to be copy and pasted, especially within the same ad group, they definitely will be. So let's just pretend like we're doing 3 ads in this ad group. And what we want to do, space it like that. Now, we're only going to be changing one variable. So let's just say for this example, we're just going to keep the H1 constant throughout this all these tests. So we're just going to test this the same for every ad, and we're just going to change the Y. You could do that a different way, by the way. So you could change, you could keep one of the Ys and do a different X. And that would be an efficient test as well. So it's really up for whatever you want to do. So right above these, I labeled it. We basically hit on the premium trigger, keyword, and then logic here. So that's the H1s. And then in the H2, in this one, release your natural beauty, we did emotion general. Most people, this is an emotional statement, but most people care about their natural beauty, and it hits on ego. It kind of applies to everyone. So let's see if there's a way that we can get a why that hits on different triggers. So we could do emotional status, and then we can do emotional logic, or we could do a mixture, like a hybrid or something. So let's say logic, but this may be a hybrid for sure. So let me go ahead and just write out these ads, and then we'll come back and I'll talk about each one. Okay, so as you can see here, this one hits upon mostly status, award-winning cosmetic surgeon. It also uses a variation of the keyword here as well. You could probably phrase this in a better way, but if you add like voted best or something like that, or some sort of prestigious awards, then you're hitting on the status trigger. With logic, this is actually a mix of logic, because this is experience, 20 years, logic, and then emotional general. Beautiful results. So this is more of a logical statement compared to the other ones. And then I came up with a couple extra ones as well. This is logic and emotion. This is 0% financing, 100% beauty. Emotions and ego, so good they'll never know. So that's kind of like kind of inside joke, because people, once again, they're looking for status. They like the excitement of their friends not knowing that they had this done, and the fact that it also states that this is natural. So this says a lot. This one statement says a lot of different things, and that's something that I'd be very interested in testing. These two are kind of like on the edge of they could perform bad or really good. So that's generally brings me to another point, is you kind of want to do that at the start. So there's a saying in advertising, it's testing branches, not twigs. So what that means is you want to test large changes at the beginning rather than small tweaks, just to get a sense of, it's basically an optimization principle. You want to test a lot of data first so that you can narrow it down. The same thing with your entire campaigns. But for the most part, you want to make these changes, and don't be afraid to get ads that fall flat on their face. Get a little wild with it, and you'll eventually stumble upon something that performs exceptionally well, and your competition just can't compete with that. So the reason why I choose to do this too is to understand as well what people are responding best to. So now that you know that you're targeting specific triggers, like you're changing one variable, and that variable is attuned to a certain trigger, an emotional trigger of your audience, then you can tell what's going to work best for you and your client. You're going to see maybe logic and emotion is working better than pure status, or maybe pure status doesn't look like it's working better, but more of those leads are turning into customers, and or even better, more of those leads are turning into patients that pay a lot of money, and they're better clients to begin with. So all this needs to be taken into account. If you're an agency, that's a little bit harder, easier said than done. But if you are a business running this yourself, then you're able to spot those differences a lot easier. So keep that in mind too. You're not just looking at cost per conversion, but you're looking at the types of clients that you're attracting in the first place. So yeah, that's something that's very nuanced, but over time you're going to see maybe emotions performing better than logic. So in that scenario, what you're going to be wanting to test is more emotional statements. So let's just say emotion general performs better than this status, and then it also let's just say we blank this out, and then these two are right here. So we have some mix between premium, emotion, and logic right here. So the next thing that you could do is, let's say these are pretty close to one another, then you can start changing your X. And then you start changing your X to a different trigger to see if, starting with a different trigger instead of premium, you could do an emotional trigger like friendly plastic surgeon, then maybe that will perform better or worse. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. And the very last thing that we're going to talk about is improving your all-around ad relevance. And this is going to involve different formats. So let's just jump back here. And yes, leave. We're going to show different formats here. And we want to go to ads and extensions. So formats are just extensions. And the more of these you add to your ads themselves, the bigger real estate they're going to take up, the more keywords they're going to have in them, and that applies to your relevancy. So Google's going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and you're going to get a higher click-through rate just because the fact that they're bigger. So placing in site link extensions, so this is just links to specific portions of your page. Let's see, photo gallery would be a very important one for this industry. So going back here, I'm not going to do all of these, but that's the text, final URL, site link text. So you could say like before and after pictures. Yeah, you could do pictures, before and after gallery, something like that, or just before and after. Not only is it important to label it like this because it's indicative of what you're showing, but also it's a keyword as well, so people are typing before and after, so they're going to see this as a site link and most likely click through to that because that's what they're looking for. And then you can add a description down here as well that's keyword heavy but really just describes what they're going to be seeing. Same thing here, meet the staff, so they care about the staff, or the doctor, meet the doctor. Just plugging in all these site links. You get the idea though. This is an additional opportunity to convince someone to click through to your site. Meet Dr. Zeph, or whatever his name is. Meet Dr. Zeph. So this is all important. One more. Let's do financing. You can do specials as well. The site is really good. He's got really good stuff to convince people to click through. So financing and payment plans, right? So financing, payment plans. Yep, so that's good. So those are all your site links that you can add in there. Then do call out extensions. Call out extensions are just additional keywords basically. They're nothing special, but what you can do is say like 5-star rated. You could say licensed and certified. These are like trust signals here. For BBB accredited for like other industries is a good one. Yeah, information like that, just more persuasion, trust signals. Featured, yeah, award winning. Additional keywords that convince people, so placing callouts in there as well. Structured snippets. So what you want to put here is where is it? Yeah, the header. So you can add headers in here. So plastic surgeons, if they're just looking for that generic keyword, you can do a header on the ad group specifically for plastic surgery, and this header is going to show all the different procedures. So in that case, what you can do is put let's see, auto service catalog. It doesn't quite matter, to be honest, but and then you can put every single procedure that you offer: breast surgery, facial surgery, hand surgery. You might not want to repeat surgery every single time, but yeah, you get it. This is more opportunity to make your ads bigger, as well as add in additional keywords. So and indicate on these generic ad groups like this that you offer some of the specifics. So if they're looking for breast reduction or a lift or tummy tuck or something like that, you can indicate that here. So highly suggest doing structured snippets as well. And a call extension, so just putting in your phone number here. ability for them to just click and call. Of course, having that in there is really important. Then you can even throw in a message extension. So this is like the call extension, but this will allow them to instantly text your company or your mobile phone with a prompted message to you, and you can continue the conversation there. The location extension, so this is going to allow your ads to show up in the maps area, as well as indicate a few click-to-call features, as well as allow them to open up the knowledge panel and see your business details, adding that as well so that you'd connect to your GMB account to use this. Price extensions, you can add those in there. This is going to add like different prices for different services. You kind of get it. The more extensions you put on this, the higher click-through rate's going to be, the better ad relevancy you're going to have. Promotion extension. Yeah, so the more you have on there, the better. And also keep note that with each ad group, you can specify these extensions. So like if you have call-out extensions, site links, and structure snippets for specifically the breast lifts, so like breast lifts or breast implants, you can do for just the implant ad group, you can basically say we have like silicone, we have whatever else breast implants, like non-implant option, right? So you can indicate that specific to the ad group as well, and that's just going to further improve your click-through rates and your relevancy score. So that's it for the video, guys. I really hope this was helpful and I didn't ramble too much. I know that we covered a lot of details here, a lot of like foundational stuff. You should be good to go. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions around any of this. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed the content, and subscribe for more videos around local marketing, mainly around Google AdWords. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.